Hey, welcome back everybody. It's another episode of my Project Ozone series. And I've cleared up a little bit of area, or sorted a little bit of area out, and put some basic stone down, and just made a basic layout. What I've also done is got a couple of facades, so we'll stick those down like that. I need to make up some others and paint some more. Takes a little while to get those doing, and then when I put the wrench on, it opens it up like so. So it very neatly covers all of that conduit in a wall, which is extremely nice and is very good for building. So what are we doing today? Today we need to finish off. I want to get we've got a basic system going for our processors. We have our position for where at least I think that is going to be where our ME controllers are going to go. So let's look at making up an ME controller. So let's start doing that. Controller ME requires some pure fluics and some skystone blocks and an engineering processor. Well, I think we have an engineering processor in here. We have a whole tons of things. I think we can actually make up all 8 and have done with it. Might as well. That's what the plan was. And then we'll set them in a area around here, and that'll give us a whole bunch of channels to use. As far as I'm aware, this block, the energy cell, you can only get 8 channels off of that entire block. I don't think it's off of each side. I would need to check the wiki to make sure. And by channel, I mean each machine that is on that ME cable counts as 1 channel. So that's 5 channels, which only leaves 3 spare. And as you start increasing the number of machines on the AE system, you end up needing a lot more channels. And that's where the ME controllers come in. An ME controller will allow you to have, if you put a cable on each side, it allow you to have 8 channels on each side with a basic cable. And if you put a dense cable, I think it'll allow up to 32 to stem off of 1 big thick cable. So you run a dense cable down, and then you run off a normal cable off of that dense cable, and you can have up to 32 channels off of 1 piece of cable, which is where we're heading. So anyway, let's we got our engineering processes. We need skystone block, and we also need pure. We also needed pure fluics, didn't we? Pure fluics is fluix seed and sand, made from fluix dust and sand, and then we put that into our growth accelerator, which we need to set up. Why don't we just dump that in this? Put that on the top part up here. I mean, we might as well. There's no harm in doing that. Where did I put it is the question. Probably in this chest. There it is. There's our growth. And that'll fill in that final slot, which is always a good thing. So we can dump that there. And we'll hook that up. We need let's make up some ME conduit, because it's going to need that. Put that in like that. And do I want to automate that? I probably do. Let me stick on a item conduit onto it as well. And we're going to stick that on the same chest system. So we'll have in and out. So it'll be insert on, we had it on blue, and extract on purple. We'll leave the redstone signal alone for the time being. Why is that putting redstone in there? This is where I think we're actually going to need, on this one, on the insert, we're going to need a item filter. And at the moment, it's sticking everything it can in there. We want to, let's blank this out for now. Thought that should. Let's blacklist the redstone so it stops putting it in there. and then we'll change that to a whitelist on the seeds. And then it won't start dumping that in there for some reason. I'm not sure why it was doing that. Clearly it's a viable option to be put into there. Let us... Oh, I wonder if I put in the... what is it? It was nether quartz, redstone, and I think it was the charged crystals, not the regular ones. Let's have a look at the... So for Fluix. For the regular Fluix crystals, you put in the charged Certus quartz, nether quartz, and redstone into the puddle. I wonder if that would allow us to make them in there instead of dropping it in the puddle as well. Let's grab us some... we need to come in here anyway. Let's grab us some charged... Got a whole bunch over here somewhere. Let's grab a bit of redstone. Where did there's the charged crystals. Let's grab those. What we also need to do is... Oh, I've got all that stuff in this. Clear out our inventory for a second. Right, let's grab that. Grab the charged crystals. We've got some nether quartz in the other world. We want to grab some sand. Sand. We've got tons off in here. Let's just grab a couple of pieces like that. And it was... So what did we do to the pure needed Fluix dust? So we need to take regular Fluix crystals and pulverize those. Let's just pulverize up what we've got with us. Let's get rid of all those. Alright, so that should be enough to... How many do we actually need to make up the controller? Control fingers do not want to work today. ME controller. There it is. We need 4 pure, and if we're going to make up 8 of these, 8, 16, 24, 32. So we're going to need 32 pure. That's enough dust. That'll get us going. At least. 37. So I wanted to grab some of the quartz. Like that. And if I put that in with that and the charged, it does. That is good to know. I don't know if I want to automate that part because I don't want it filling up with... I don't want it filling up with redstone from the chest. But that's a quicker way of doing it than finding some water. I like that growth chamber. What we can do, though, is automate the Fluix dust and the sand. If you put those two together, that makes up the Fluix seeds. And what we can do is we can tell it to pull in, well, whitelist the Fluix seeds. Make that a whitelist. Take that out. That's probably pulling a couple in, yep. And that should now, anytime we put in those, it will automatically pull those in and start growing them. It should. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. And then we need some acceleration cards on those as well. So we need some more calculation presses. We're going to need some iron, some redstone. And trying to remember what the recipe was. Oh, we need some diamonds as well to make up some of the cards. We're really low on diamonds. Might actually think about making up some diamond seed magical crops, because that would cure that problem. We need to make up 6. So we look on the acceleration cards again. It needs up the basic card, which is got all those. Actually, we didn't need that many, but okay, well, we've done that now anyway. And then to make up the acceleration card, we need the combine those with those. and that gives us a bunch of acceleration cards. And that will speed up the growth chamber of that machine as well, I imagine. I'm guessing, but it would seem logical to me. Stick that into there like that. I mean, it looks like it already grew up all of those already. And then we need to tell it to allow it to able to extract with a redstone signal. There you go. And that should now dump everything like it does. Clearing those out. And that automates that process. So whenever we put any of those seeds in there, it will automatically convert them into fluids for us, which is very nice. So we have fluids crystals that we need. We can just dump those in there for now. I'm also going to dump all those in there. We need the engineering ones because we're now going to make up the controller. Controller is made up with... Oh, skystone block was the other thing that we needed, wasn't it? We're going to have to take a bunch of skystone dust, which we have a whole ton of. Where are you in here? There you are. Grab a stack of you. And I think we have to put those into... I think we need a bucket, which we've got right there. Let's grab a bucket of lava. Why is that all being used up? Where's all our lava gone? Where's our lava going? Shouldn't. That's weird. Unless we're... Oh, that's right. We're using it now in the... to make obsidian. Forgot about that. Let's put a lava in there. That's how you do it. Okay, we're going to need... so we need 31 more pieces. Let me do that. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Made up some extra conduit facades. Still got some here, which I'm going to convert into... You put the blank facade into a painter, and then you tell it the type of block that you want it to paint as, which in this case I want some smooth stone, and then it converts the facade into a painted block of that type. If I grab that one, so I got two different types, one with stone and one with stone bricks. And we'll let that other one process while we're doing this. Let's go back through. I have my skystone blocks now. Let's just dump this one down. I needed a smooth one for, well, there, temporarily. I'm about to put ME controllers around it, so it doesn't really make that much difference. We can put one there as well, and that hides that cable. Controller, that's what we're doing. I knew what we were doing. ME controller. There. Skystone block, pure fluids crystals, which we have, and engineering processor. And that should be enough to make up... Should have enough to make up all 8. Shouldn't I? Oh, that's skystone, not a... Oh, good grief, really? Tell me that's not a skystone block. It is. Oh, no. I'm going to need more. I think to do that, you do that. Nope. How did you make skystone block then? Oh, I think I flubbed. I made the assumption that you take skystone. Oh, you have to smelt the skystone down? Stick that in there. See what that does. Hopefully that'll convert. Where did I put that? Oh, I put that in there. Should do it on a one-to-one level, I hope. Okay. Let's have a look. We'll see what we need for the drive, because that'll be the next thing. The drive. That's just going to be engineering. Oh, we've got all of that already. In fact, we can make that up right now. Let's grab some of this cable, which we have. And the ME drive could make up 29. We'll just make up 1 for now. And that finishes off that one. And then we'll pull out all of our skystone block. And we should now be able to make up the controller. All 8 of them. Yep. Okay, now we've got all 8 controllers, and that'll also finish off the quest. Which it does, and I think I'll take the... oh, it doesn't really matter. Redstone, I'm using that straight away. And then that opens up the advanced inscriber, which we've already done. That gives us another heart. I'll take the bag on the left. And that moves us down into deep storage, which I don't want to do just yet. Once we get the ender quarry going, I will need that. It moves us down onto a network tool. Let's place these blocks down and get them out of our inventory. So what I'm going to do, put them around. They have to be joined together, or touching. And what I'll do is I'll knock you off, and then the moment I put that one on there, it will it'll link in. It should do onto. Why is that? Because I haven't got any room in my inventory again. Let's use up that heart. That'll give us another slot. Okay, and that should have picked up most of the stuff. And it's got, yeah, it's connected in. So that allows 8 channels. What I could do is put another one off each of these sides, and it'll allow for another 8 channels. But for now, we can hide under the ground. We can change the coloring of these to separate them out, and we can have 8 64 pieces of equipment before we even have to worry about coming off the side pieces. Let's get rid of that, and I'm going to bung down you and you, and stick you in there. Can't stick you in there. Let's put you up there for now. Okay, let's get rid of these chance cubes. Let's put those in there for now. We also need, so we're going to put down the drive, and then I think what I'm going to do, just temporarily, until we work out, I might end up moving that more centralized into the room over here. I would like, at some point, a bank of drives. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sticking those over here. So I'm going to put that probably, just for now, just right there. And then we need to hook that into the ME cables, which we can run. In fact, actually, we will use this bit here, this controller instead. And that keeps the drives on a separate controller, which I think is a good idea. You may disagree, but that's what's happening. So there, we'll drop that down, and we're gonna actually, I wish that sometimes that shovel is a little bit too powerful. And like that, and then we're gonna put ME cable down like that. Fill that dirt back in. No, can't do that there. Fill that in though. And carry on running the cable down. And that's now hooked in. And the drive will be active, but we need put some drive bays in. Which is going to be the next thing that we do. So let's fill that in and let's cover that back up. And then we're ready to put drives into the drive bay. First, let's open up. Let's drop all this sand off in here first. Let's get rid of some of that. And that convert down into silicon, which we're going to need anyway. Why has that got one piece of silicon there? I do not know. Let's open up that reward bag. It was a greater reward bag. And, oh yay. I wouldn't say it's super useful. Let's just for now stick it in here. Because it's connected to the farm. I'm just going to stick that in there. And we'll put the slimes in there as well. And then we need to, let's check the, oh, it's a network tool, wasn't it? On the quest book. Let's look for network. which is that one, which needs another illuminated panel, which I think we already had somewhere. I think I had some spare ones left over. Yes, I do. And we can actually put the crafting terminal, and we'll attach that to the. We'll have that coming out here as well. Oh, just stop. Stop. Okay. And let's put that on there. Okay, so we've got an interface to the system. We've got a drive bay. We've got our controllers. We need... Oh, we were making the network tool, he says, getting distracted like a chicken. So we've got some per panels. We've got calculation processors. Should have some of those in here. Yep, got tons of those things. Stick those ones back in. And then we just need the soda quartz wrench, which is easy enough. We've got a bunch of that over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Picked up an extra one because I'm a doof. We've got that, and that should be enough to make up... Oh, we need a chest as well. Let's grab those two. Like so. And we'll surround that like that. And then that goes in there. That goes there. That goes there. And the wrench that we just made goes there. And that makes us the network tool. Never used it. Don't know what it does. We'll soon find out. So check the quest book. Pick up the left-hand bag again. Let's open that. It's another greater bag. Hopefully we don't get a bunch of plants this time. Got a bunch of... We're never going to use those. Let's just stick those in there for now, just to clear out our inventory. We'll scrap those. They've got do they have EMC? I don't think they actually do. That one has EMC values, so that could be converted. That one doesn't. And that one does. These two could be scrapped, actually. Oh, actually, we got a trash can there. You know what? Let's just scrap the things. Not going to use them. Might as well bin them. We have better pipes. Thank you very much. Thank you for the useless reward. Like that. Okay. So we got a network tool. Let's see what that does. Oh, it just tells you information about the entire network. How much it's stored, what its max power is, how much it's using per tick, energy generation. I think that's when you end up needing the bigger energy cells. If I click on that one, yeah, it just tells you what the entire system is comprised of and how much power you need. That's going to be handy. We'll keep hold of that. Let's check our quest book. What do we got next on the ME line? Then we start moving into the storage. And that's the auto crafting. We're not going to get into that. We'll get into that next episode. We need a 16384K storage. Oh, 10 of them. How many can you get into that drive bay? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, it's going to fill that. Good grief, that'll be storage for days. I don't know if we're going to have the resources to make that massive drive. I think that's what we need for the quest. I'm pretty sure that's the one. See what that needs. That needs, I mean, diamonds are okay. It needs that component, which needs those components, which needs those components, which needs those. OMG. This is gonna take. I am tempted to go down the auto crafting line first, because making up the volume of components that you need to make up 10 of those, 10 of these storage components. So you're going to need 10 of those, and every one of those needs 3 of those. So you're up to 30 of those. And each one of those needs 3 of those. So that's 30. You're just exponentially going up in the number of components you need to make up a bunch of those. Does it? And the other question is, does it have EMC value? which I don't think it does, unfortunately. Do these? Those do. If we could get to Project E, we could probably make up one of them and then, or one or two, and then at that point, save one of these up and put it into the Project E system to get the rest of them, because otherwise that is just going to be such a laborious process. Right now, actually, I remember we had some very basic 1K drives as a quest reward, didn't we? So let's see if I could find those. They might be back in the main base. There we go. A couple of 1K ME drives. And we'll put those two in the system. And that'll get us at least started. And you can see that you make up the drive. You put the storage cells in here. And then that gives us space. And each drive can hold not very much, because they're only the small drives. But it can hold 63 different types. Each item is a type. So at the moment, with 2 drives in there, you can hold up to 126 types of item. Actually, no, it's 128 because it's 0 to 63. So if we put in, we can just put stuff in, and now that's like got 2 different types in. You'll see the drive has now got 2 of 63 types. But because they're small drives, it's already taken up 28 of 1024 bytes. So it wouldn't take very long to fill this up with stuff. And that's why you're going to need the bigger drives. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clear out all of this, and that actually might end up filling up the drives, but I'm not entirely sure. Dump that in. Some of that. That, the quartz glass, the nether quartz dust. And put all that in. And see, yes, I've checked. See, we're already up to 200. We've hardly put anything in. We've nearly filled up one of those drives already, but it now allows us to get rid of that. We don't have enough to feed the farm into it yet. Stick all those in there. Cores. Let's put those in there. Let's put the filters in. Let's put our network tool in there because we don't need that right now. Some of those. Anything that's ME related right now, I'm just chucking in. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, I would very much appreciate it. And until next time, toodles!